Hey everybody, welcome to Blue Collar Whiskey Drinkers. I'm Robbie.
And I'm Cody.
So tonight is a part two of Evan Williams versus Jim Beam. These are the two aged whiskeys from last week. The only difference is the Evan Williams aged is their basic bottle now. They had one that would be comparable to Jim Beam's normal. But they did away with that, and this is now their new one. And Jim Beam Black is, I guess, the step above their normal bottle, but they're both aged, so that's why we paired them together.
Yeah.
To kind of touch on some things, just a little refresher. So this is in the 1.2 category. Both bottles are under $20. Like Evan Williams, we got for about 12, 13 bucks. And then Jim Beam, we got for about 18, 19 bucks. You want to tell everybody what they scored last week?
Yeah. So Jim Beam, we did it. Nate, it scored 3.2, and that was a high score. That was tough, but that was the best we would give it. Jim Beam on neat, and it scored a 3.6 in the Coke. Jim Beam. So Evan Williams scored 3.5 neat. So it was much better with the water droplets. So that was a big changing factor. The smell got better. The harshness got better. You got more taste that you could actually like pinpoint once the water droplets were in there. So it's definitely much better with the water droplets in the Evan Williams neat. And so it got a better score, 3.5 neat. And then Coke, we gave Evan Williams a 3.8 on Coke. And it just mixed a little bit better. It's cheaper than Jim Beam.
The price point really played a factor last week.
It did make a factor on that because we're already in cheaper bottles. So like Evan Williams, but
$6 cheaper is going to make a difference in our eyes.
Yeah, like I think it was $15.99 for me, the Jim Beam, and then it was like $18.99 or something for you, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Evan Williams was $12.99 for me, so
it was $11.99 for me. So
I got the big bottle. You got to remember that.
That's right.
So I got it super cheap.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're gonna be.
Yeah, Evan Williams is in the lead as of right now. So
yes. So we're gonna be reviewing this tonight. We're gonna finish it out with On the Rocks, and both of these on an old fashioned. And again, we're only stirring our old fashions from here on out. I have a feeling though these may be shaken old fashions that we'll have to try later on. So all right. Well, with all that being said, you ready, Cody?
Yeah, I'm ready. Well, we're going to start out with Jim Beam first this week. We started out with Evan Williams last week first, so we'll switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do an 1.5 ounce pour on the rocks. So, man, today was a long day, my man.
Whew. Sounds like it. So you guys know Cody just finished working. And it is
it is 8
10 o'clock for me, so for you.
Yeah, 8 p.m. for me. Working 12-hour day. But hey, man, it happens. Part of the gig.
Happens. And it's Friday. We're doing a podcast.
Friday. I'm excited.
Yeah, cheers. Here, this is for you, Cody.
Let's smell this a little bit first. That smells good. Smell the oak.
No, Jim Beam had a real good smell last week, especially with the water droplets.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, you're right.
I gotta say, this is kind of reminds me of that. I'm really hoping though it doesn't let me down again.
It's got the roasted peanuts or nut smell to it, like Jim Beam always does. Well,
all right, well, cheers.
Sure, man.
Okay.
little hot.
It is, but good flavor.
Yeah, it's better here on the rocks. I'm gonna let mine sit a little bit more.
Wow. I gotta say, I wasn't, especially last week with the water droplets and how disappointed I was. I was not expecting this to taste
Well,
like.
you know, they do say like when you have the bottle open and kind of get some air in there, it does
Yeah.
tend to open up the whiskey a little bit. Sometimes people say letting it air, you know, it tastes a little bit better, you know, sometimes with certain whiskeys. So
I would definitely say this is one. I'm definitely getting the caramel aspect to it.
Has a nice finish too. Like
yes,
has a kind of like soothing kind of I don't know, like creamy almost.
I would almost say the vanilla kind of caramel with the oak. Like the wood taste is nice. I'm actually pretty surprised with it on the rocks right now. I did not expect
it's better.
It's to me the best way Jim Beam's been on both these the previous categories.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah. It's better than neat for sure.
It's a good sipper on the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially for the price point, under $20 either way you slice it. So, yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Maybe Jim Beam makes a comeback.
I was not expecting that.
It's so funny how whiskeys change and how these doing it all these ways. We find that it may be better this way. And then it may be better this way. So.
Well, I've been telling people at my new job because they've been asking about the podcast, and I tell them that it's amazing what you get. And it's funny, the guys always look at me like, oh, you're trying it all these different ways, like you're ruining the bourbon. I'm like, seriously, some whiskeys are neat whiskeys, some whiskeys are on the rocks, some whiskeys Coke, some whiskeys are old fashions and cocktails.
See, I don't get that mindset, because
I know,
like they don't drink cocktails. Like,
I know.
Come on now.
But, yeah, and honestly, I think that's why, not to toot our own horn, but I really love our aspect on reviewing multiple different ways of trying a whiskey. Because honestly, if it was just trying it Jim Beam Black last week, could you imagine just writing it off neat? Like, it was a 3.2. That's not fair to the whiskey.
And if that, yeah, exactly. If that, and now doing it in the ice, it gives it much better, better kind of change.
I think the warmness aspect is hitting me different as well, because it's super cold outside. We got like 1.5 inches of ice past couple days, so it's 20 degrees out. So this is hitting the spot nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's actually chilly in California, I guess.
My mom was sending me pictures. They got snow up there.
Yeah. In Wonga, yeah, they got snow at Grandma's.
I know cool. It snows up there because
but not very much.
I've seen it before, but it's like it looked like a good amount of snow too. If it was colder, I think that's
right. Like Palomar Mountains, like 40 minutes, not even 40 minutes for me. It got over 8 inches of snow up there.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so yeah, it's been kind of chilly here for sure. So this is nice.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna lead us off on this. I gotta say, I don't see very many wrongs on this whiskey as far as on the rocks go. Smells great. Taste is good. It is a little warm at first. It
Yeah,
almost
I mean,
lingered.
it was the first drink of the night for me,
Yeah,
so that's
same.
probably why.
I would say it almost lingered a little too long. Maybe that'd be the only gripe I really had with the whiskey. But again, the
Yeah.
flavors actually came out on the rocks the best. I'm gonna have to go with price point and everything. It's like I want to go 4, but it's like 3.8 may be the sweet spot for it. So high 3.8, but I kind of want to lean towards that 4.0 range or high
Yeah.
3.8 range.
I'm at the 3.8.
Yeah.
I think that's a good score. I mean, it was at a 3.2, remember that.
Oh yeah, no.
So
I definitely think again, high 3.8 for me. So 3.8 settle, I think is good.
yeah, 3.8, I think so. Respectable score. It went up dramatically. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think about drinking neat compared to on the rocks. I mean, with this whiskey.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
I mean,
I agree.
it's not terrible neat. It's just I like it better on the rocks on this
Oh
one.
yeah, it's not
by
terrible.
quite a bit.
It's just
it's a mediocre on the neat. It's
yeah.
mediocre. I mean, that's plain and simple.
I will say, I think I had my expectations up here just primarily because it is aged. It's aged, 6 to 8 years. And we were talking about how we thought the Jim Beam would just blow the Evan Williams out. So I think my expectation, for me at least, was up here. And it just came in right around here. Let me down a little bit last week.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That may be playing a factor this week. I was thinking, I was like, it's not going to do so good. So, and it came out.
Yeah, so. I was thinking, I was totally unsure about it on the rocks. I was like, it might get that weird taste that it got with the water droplets, So I was like, not holding out a ton of hope. So, but it surprised me. It's good. It's got a good smell. It's got a good initial warmth, and then a nice kind of finish to it too. That kind of, like you said, has the vanilla and the oak kind of mixed in. A little bit of that roasted, I would say roasted peanut or nut kind of the typical Jim Beam kind of aftertaste.
Yeah.
So
because it is like toasted, like nutty, toasty flavor with like charred wood. Then you got vanilla, oak, and caramel to it. So I was definitely getting that like vanilla caramel with that charred oak type taste.
Yeah, for sure.
All pretty good. So, all right, 3.8 for Jim Beam Black on the rocks. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to Evan Williams. I got to go grab some ice.
Same here.
And we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, we're back with our Evan Williams on ice. So here we go. Yeah. What do you think, man? What do you think?
I don't know. I haven't even smelled it yet.
Very more botanically smell, huh? Kind of oak.
Yeah.
Little floral.
Yeah. A little bit. It's funny. Good, but it's
not as good as it's not as good as when you just put water droplets in it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And really just the smells we were getting with Jim Beam that really surprised me. Well, not really, because the smells with the water droplets and Jim Beam were great. But the taste was an whole other story. So
yeah.
All right. Let's
think. All right, man.
Cheers. Different. Ooh. Has that late, like a little burn here.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm watching the cube. My ice cube's getting chewed up faster by this one.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. My two are definitely getting chewed up a lot faster.
Yeah, than the Jim Beam. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how certain whiskeys
break down the ice.
Break down the ice faster than others. I'll have to read up on why that is. It's maybe more acidic, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
kind of weird.
Okay.
Let me try it. Yeah. Not bad.
Oh.
It's got a nice, overall feel. It's not like it had a little kind of harshness at the beginning when I first took it, but
see, the harshness didn't come until later, and it like hit me down here.
Yeah, I kind of got it in the throat right here. Like it just kind of hit me there. But as far as the flavors go, I mean, I'm getting a little bit of little oaky, little botanical, kind of earthy.
Yeah.
So, not as much like of the vanilla and the caramel and the, like the Jim Beam, the roasted. Wow. So interesting. We're doing a little back and forth game here. I'm gonna go ahead and give my review. I'm at a 3.6.
Okay.
Maybe a smidge higher, but I don't think it's as good on the ice as Jim Beam was.
Definitely not.
Just a little bit lower.
I was really trying to think back to last week on how everything tasted with the water droplets, and I don't know. I gave it a 3.5, so I'm right there with you. I thought it was probably not better, but as good as just neat. So that's how I kind of thought about it.
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's I wouldn't disagree with a 3.6.
No, I do get you're saying. I would say, yeah, it's hard because if we were thinking about it with the water droplets, like you were saying, yeah, it's probably tied.
But
maybe
neat without water droplets, it's definitely better. But we discussed that last week on the neat with this one. Without the water droplets, it would have been probably around a 3.2, 3.3 range anyway.
Yeah.
The water droplets really helped it out last week, and Jim Beam, water droplets hurt it.
I'm good with 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's a good whiskey, everybody, especially for the price point. Like, I'm not going to dog it at a $12 whiskey.
No, not at all.
It's pretty solid. Yeah, honestly, I'm excited for both these as old fashions.
Yeah. So. I mean, you never know. That's the beauty about this. We never know what old fashioned we're going to get, it could really surprise us and be one of our go-to old fashioned, cheaper bottle mixers, who knows? Yeah. So that's the cool thing about it. So I watched season 1 of Yellowstone. You've been kind of egging me on to watch it. So yes. me and Kelsey watched it, sat down together, and we got through season 1. I gotta say, it's pretty good. I like it. A lot happening, like right off the get-go. Spoiler alert for whoever hasn't, seen it. But the older brother dies right off the get-go.
Yeah, I was pretty upset about that. I was like, damn.
Yeah, because I liked him off the, I thought
Yeah.
he was cool. And then
Well, even on later episodes, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I was like, damn, he was definitely the better brother. So
it sucks because the younger brother, the youngest, I guess he's probably the youngest.
yeah, he's the youngest.
He ended up having to kill his like brother-in-law,
Yeah,
basically,
it was
because
his
his
brother-in-law.
brother-in-law who killed his brother.
Yeah,
Um,
which I'm
pretty
sorry,
wild.
but
I would have shot him too. Fuck that guy.
yeah,
He was gonna shoot him. I mean, he had no
yeah,
choice, really. Um, fuck. Yeah, that was crazy. But then his brother, like his brother's, he's bad. The young brother, man, he's always been bad. Something bad always happens to that guy. Every time he goes anywhere, something bad happens. Like
yeah,
he either does something really stupid, or he protects somebody and then gets in trouble for it, or like, dude,
dude,
the
shit
guy's got
follows that guy.
fucking bad luck. And then his girl leaves him. Um, at the end of season one, basically, and then he goes and finally, joins up with his dad, and because he didn't want to live at his dad's and whatever. Um, fuck, it's crazy.
Yeah,
But the way the season one ended, man.
just wait, just wait. Season two,
But
it gets real wild.
fuck, dude, everyone's turning on him. Like his own son. He's doing some like right that last episode. His like lawyer son. He fucking was like about to like rat on him or tell like this reporter all this stuff. I don't know if he does, but he goes like he's about to on that episode. But it's like, what a loser, dude.
Oh man, dude, you're just at the beginning of it. Like season two, so much more shit happens. Season three, same thing. It's just
Dude,
a whirlwind of shit happening to that family and the dad and the son. Wait till season two, and you're gonna be like, son of a bitch, that was a lot. I wish we would have, because we binge watched that, and I almost feel like Yellowstone is that series that you need to take time to digest.
yeah, and
I
me and
think
Kelsey
watch like 1 or 2 episodes, digest it
Yep.
for a day, pick up, watch the next 3 and 4 episodes, digest it. I kind of wish we would have done that. I'm definitely going to go back and watch it all over again because, yeah, so much shit happens. I really want to watch 1883.
Oh, the prequel, yeah.
Yeah, way prequel back freaking going across America.
Yeah.
Freaking Tim McGraw is like great granddaddy. Yeah, so I'm super excited to watch 1883. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dodge guy's in it, like you were saying. So
yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check it out once I finish this one.
But yeah,
well,
continue doing what you're doing as far as digesting these episodes, because there's a lot that happens. And
yeah, I've been watching like 1, 2, every night or every other night.
Yeah, I may honestly go back through after I do Vikings and binge watch it real quick.
Now that the new Vikings is out.
Yeah. Now since the new Vikings out, and you've been hounding me, 2 months, 3 months to just go ahead and start rewatching it. I would be done right now if I would have just listened to you then.
It's so good, man.
Oh, I know it is. I just know what happens.
I rewatched it again, and I just like love it. I loved it even more because you miss things, even from the first, like when Ragnar's there. Like you miss a lot of things that he does, and Anyways,
fucking funky.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So we're going off on tangents, people. All right. Evan Williams, pretty solid at a 3.5 on the rocks. We will be doing
we would say it's as good as neat, you know,
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
rocks. I mean, depending on the type of person you are, maybe needs better, or on the
Yeah.
rocks is better. But they're really close. Either way, we think they're close. Um, you ready for old fashioned time?
Yeah, old fashioned time. Before we jump back to that, again, Evan Williams, 3.5 neat, 3.5 on the rocks, 3.8 coke. And then Jim Beam, 3.2 neat, 3.8 on the rocks, and 3.6 coke. So honestly, it's actually a very close race right now, I would say.
Yeah.
This is
Make it or break it time, the old fashioned.
Any predictions going into old fashioned?
No, dude, these two are so evenly matched. I really don't know which one's gonna be better. I have no idea. If I was gonna say right now, I'd probably lean towards Jim Beam a smidge.
That's how I'm feeling.
But
just because everything we got on
know.
the rocks, it may pull through on the old fashioned. And if it does, look out. This may be a good cheap bottle of whiskey to make old fashions with for a while. So
yeah,
depending on how it goes. So all right, everybody, we'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're back. We just got our Jim Beam Black old fashioned.
Yeah.
Here's what it looks like. And actually, this one has a really great color for an old fashioned. I was noticing that whenever I made it.
Looks solid, yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually ready to try this. It's nice and chilled. I actually threw the glass in with the ice ball in the freezer just to add that extra chill factor.
Chill to it. Nice.
Well, cheers.
Cheers, man.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Got a good flavor.
Solid flavor.
Yeah. Not the whiskey's you know the whiskey's there.
Yes.
And it doesn't get I think what was it, Brothers Bond last week?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago now. But that whiskey, it was good in the old fashioned, but it was just like overpowered by the bitters and the simple syrup. Like this, you notice the whiskey way more.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Which is nice.
I definitely think with Brothers Bond though, I will say that's definitely going to be a summertime whiskey all the way around.
Yeah.
Don't get that normal whiskey warmness like you do with the Jim Beam. So, yeah, Jim Beam is honestly kind of that. I'm not saying typical like it's just another bourbon, but just that typical bourbon burn, you know, with the old fashioned. Not even burn, just the warmness aspect, even like this. So it's good.
It's solid. I'm actually kind of surprised.
Oh yeah.
Like, what would you compare this to? Like other old fashions? Like,
I don't know.
Do you think it's like, for me, I think it's better than Bullet. I mean, I think it's better than Bullet.
You probably put these two up against each other on a blind taste test. I bet this would win. Unfortunately, Bullet's taste just doesn't hold up. It's gone.
It's good initially, and then
no, that's what I'm saying. It just doesn't. It goes away way too damn quick. If it had something where the taste could last a while, Bullet would be probably one of the best bourbons out there.
A good one. Yeah, initially, for sure. Wow. I'm surprisingly pretty impressed with the old fashioned.
Yeah. No, it's a very solid old fashioned, especially for $18 for the bottle. It oh crap, it's already almost gone for me, so obviously it's good.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with how fast this one's going down. I think I know what I'm going to give it. So I think it's a solid 4. Price point and everything. I kind of want to go a little higher, but I don't know. I think it's a solid 4 though. It's a solid whiskey.
Mind reader.
Yeah, it's a good old fashioned. That's all I got to say about it. It's it's not the best, but for the price point, shit. If you're going to be drinking on the rocks and making some old fashioned, this would be the whiskey to grab. Especially if you're in a hurry or say you only have $20 to throw at something.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, if you're wanting to make some old fashions or drinking whiskey on the ice, maybe this is one I would definitely look at as a contender to get, especially in a pinch,
sure.
price wise.
For sure.
Yeah. Right on. So we're in agreement at a 4.
Yeah.
We've pretty much agreed on all these scores. I mean, eventually, we've been different scores, but
yeah,
kind of agreed a lot on all these scores, which is good. But man, I'm kind of curious now about the Evan Williams.
Yeah, this is it was good with Coke, so maybe honestly, Evan Williams been pretty consistent though. 3.5, 3.5, and a 3.8. It's pretty consistent whiskey.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't expect that. So.
I swear every whiskey in this versus that we do, we always have a comeback.
Yeah.
Like we'll have a whiskey that drops off. And then all of a sudden, the next part 2, it's creeping back up.
Yeah. I'm really curious if the comeback is enough for the Jim Beam, especially if Evan Williams is anywhere from a 3.5 to a 3.8 on old fashioned.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be super close tonight, honestly.
Yeah,
they've all been close, but damn.
I think our biggest gap in the verses was our last verses, the Four Roses Old Forester. I think
yeah, and that one was close though too.
Yeah, but it was like
that was the biggest gap.
Yeah.
Because Four Roses really came out in the cocktail, but Old Forester was just so consistent all the way through. How's your old fashioned over there?
Very empty.
Done. Okay. All right. Well, we gave Jim Beam a 4.0 on as an old fashioned. We're going to go ahead and go make our Evan Williams. We'll be right back, everybody.
All right. So we're back with our old fashioned and the Evan Williams. So looking pretty good, man.
Yeah. Another good color.
Good color. Good smell on this. I don't know, man.
Actually, great smell. So
Well,
it's mixing very well. So cheers.
Cheers. It's a smacker, man.
Are you getting almost like a cinnamon taste?
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like overwhelming or anything. It's just like at the end, it almost has that cinnamon taste or feel on the finish.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I've been there a couple times. I've been there a couple times where I'm like, I'm tasting cinnamon on this shit. Remember?
Yeah. And it's like, did I put too much bitters in? But it's like, no, I counted that shit out.
Yeah, I know. No. Yeah, I get the little cinnamon kind of vibe at the end. It's good.
It's
strong though. I mean,
it kind of definitely could tell it's more whiskey, or not more whiskey, but it tastes like more whiskey. Like more whiskey flavor.
You still get that. Okay, like this bourbon must be warm, neat kind of vibe, you know. So, yeah, it's good. Right in the middle, I don't like it. And then it gets better.
Yes. So beginning and end, good. There's like something in the middle.
It's like a weird bite to it. It kind of like.
See, that's good. There's that finish. The finish is good.
Yeah.
It's like maybe a second or two where it's just, what is that?
Yeah, like a sharp kind of like dry.
Yeah.
It's like bitter taste, I guess you would say.
It initial taste, great. Finish, I would say pretty darn good. And then there's just something about that middle, which we've never had one where usually the initial taste and the finish kind of carry over together, but there's something that lags, like a 2-second lag, where it's not the best.
Yeah. You know, I kind of remember back to when we did the Evan Williams Bonded, the 100 proof.
Yeah.
I get that kind of reminder of like that Evan Williams taste. And it's just kind of a little much for me in my old fashioned. Like I like it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's good. But then there's part of me that's like, it's just a little much on my preferred palate.
Yeah.
For the old fashioned. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like,
no, I definitely get what you're saying.
Because I remember we rated that one kind of low.
Oh yeah, no, both those whiskeys. I had to go back and look. It's been so long. It's been a year. So, but I definitely think
Well, not quite, dude. We didn't even start till after February. So we're just now a year doing this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. What's your score on this old fashioned?
I'm taking a couple more sips, and I'm gonna take my last sip here real quick. Kind of dipping off a little bit there.
Okay.
For me, anyways.
Yeah.
I would say I'd be hard pressed to give it a 3.8. Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gave it a 3.6.
I mean, I was hard pressed. That was like me maxed out kind of deal.
I thought maybe 3.7 top end for me, but 3.6 easy for me anyway. I was just like, it's good initial taste, good finish, but
it got worse at the end there too. I noticed.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say something because I finished my drink the same time as you.
It was just progressively getting worse. I don't know what it is about that. Like I remember that with the bonded too. It progressed, like it was okay, like right at the get go, and then like you keep drinking it, and you're like, yeah. I don't know, something about it. Yeah, I mean 3.6 is a good score. Let's just go with that.
Okay, so 3.6.
Yeah, that was like my maxed out score, 3.8, and I agree with you. I think it's lower than that.
All right. Well, let me add up the scores. Why don't you tell everybody?
Okay. I guess
possibility of one whiskey, but
so my birthday weekend's next weekend. So for that, we're going to choose a whiskey of my choosing. And so I know on our year review of our favorite whiskeys of the year that we had outside of the podcast, one of mine was the Sagamore Rye double barrel whiskey. So Sagamore is my first choice. So if we could do that one, Robbie still got to make sure he can get it. So if it's not Sagamore, my second choice was the Russell single barrel or the 10-year. Either one of those two would work for me. I like both of them. That single barrel would be cooler if you can get it. So those are the two whiskeys that, well, three, I guess, if you say the single barrel or the 10-year Russell. Either Russell 10-year or Russell single barrel or the Sagamore. So those are the whiskeys that we'll let you know later this week. We'll post and let you know which one we're going to be able to get. So, God, I hope you can get the Sagamore because I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I've had it for a long time. I enjoyed it a lot when I first bought it and kind of been saving it to do on the show. So I'm hoping we can get that one on.
All right.
So those are the whiskeys, everybody, we might be doing next episode.
All right. So you ready for the overall scores?
Yes, sir.
All right. So 4, we'll kick it off with Evan Williams. After tallying up everything, it is a solid 3.60, 3.6 even whiskey. So pretty good score. It's definitely better than I thought it would be. For Jim Beam, we got a 3.65. So rounded up 3.7 overall whiskey. Jim Beam snuck back into it with, honestly, on the rocks and old fashioned. It was not that good that last week.
Wow, dude, I was not thinking that was going to happen.
Yeah.
This is why we do it all the ways.
Yes. So
at least the 4 different ways.
Yeah. So 3.65. It's really just a hair above, but rounding up 3.7, which I think is a solid score for Jim Beam, especially how it finished on the rocks was, I gotta say, great.
Yeah.
Well, great compared to neat. And then old fashioned for an $18 bottle, what, 15 for you.
Yeah. Yes.
4.0 is a good,
$15.99.
pretty good score.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was, and we are on the same page with that score. So,
yeah,
you know, I'm surprised that it took over, man. I really am. But
yeah,
the Evan Williams Bonded that we did back in almost a year ago now. I remember that same thing on the old fashioned, man. It was like, it's good, really. It's decent up front, and then you start drinking it, and you're like, ugh, you know what? I'm kind of getting tired of this whiskey.
Yeah.
It's got a weird kind of, like, it just doesn't get better. It gets kind of like worse as you drink it. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, wow. Okay. So Jim Beam pulled out the last second win. But if you wanted to drink the whiskey neat, which probably most people do,
Evan Williams.
Evan Williams is your.
I would definitely say.
I would do that neat for sure.
I'd
Especially if you
droplets.
add the water droplets on that.
But either way, I would almost
say Evan
Williams.
Either way, it's probably a little bit better. It's just hot, like right off the get-go.
Even if you want a whiskey and Coke, I would say Evan Williams. So, so no clear-cut winner as a cocktail whiskey on these two whiskeys, in a sense, because, Evan Williams Coke, pretty damn good, and then Jim Beam Old Fashioned, really good. So
it's crazy. Like, if you like drinking on the rocks, Jim Beam's better, in our opinion, in the blue collar whiskey drinker opinion. So, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I know Cody, we got his birthday next weekend. We're going to do a little celebration for that. We will. So unfortunately, this episode will be getting released the weekend or the week before, or that Friday before your birthday. So it'd be that following weekend after that one gets released. But so we got his birthday bottle. Hopefully it's the Sagamore. I'm hoping I could pull through and be able to get that. And then after that, we will be kicking off our two Irish whiskeys for the month of March. We're going to do our St. Paddy's Day whiskey, and then we're going to go right into another Irish whiskey, whatever that's going to be. We haven't decided on our St. Paddy's Day whiskey just yet, but...
Are we doing a versus?
Would you want to do an Irish versus for the second part? Or even during those 2 weeks?
I'm saying during the 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay, so we could do... we may actually do a poll.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
This week. What do you want? Either we'll put up a good bottle of Irish whiskey versus the two Irish bottles of a versus episode. We'll kind of see what everybody wants.
I know what I want.
A versus?
Well, I mean, I know what Irish whiskey I want.
Okay. Which one's that?
Redbreast.
I was going to say Redbreast
12 year.
too. Yeah, no, I was actually going to say that one. That one would be a really good one, but to do two Irish whiskeys at that same price level as a versus would be, my wife would murder me.
Hey, man.
But anyways, so then after that, I'm looking at it right now. So yeah, the 25th, 26th of March, we will be having my good friend Dylan on. He will actually be our first guest of the new year. Crazy, we're already in March and we haven't had a guest yet. But we'll plan.
We'll see. My cousin Adam may make a return. So our first guest ever, may make a return. He reminded me that he, was on a year ago. So he was like,
Yeah.
hey, you want to have me back on? I was like, yeah, man. Like, we'll see,
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Be glad to have him back. And then, but Dylan's definitely booked in for the 25th, 26th. And honestly, yeah, for the month of April, we don't know yet. We'll get there. But month of March is pretty full. Just looking at it, we got a lot of stuff. We're going to be pretty busy this month. So
this month is busy. We definitely want to do some of our listeners.
It may kick off April.
Yeah, we want to do some of our listeners kind of whiskeys that they kind of threw out to us. So we'll get to those probably in April, but I'm looking forward to those because there are some cool ones on the list.
Yeah.
And, anyways, we'll do a shout out for those listeners.
Definitely. So stay tuned, everybody. Month of March is packed. So again, we'll be doing a Instagram post for the Irish whiskeys coming up. Hopefully this week we could get that put out to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, part 2 is done. Jim Beam slides in, takes the win, 3.7. Evan Williams, 3.6, close. So, that's out of the 4 ways overall rating,
Yeah.
So, anyways, you got anything else, brother?
No, just grab your guys self a bottle or grab yourself some of these, each of these whiskeys. Let us know what you think. Let us know which one's your favorite, which one you liked better. And please try them all 4 ways.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Bring a friend, have a friend come over and
don't do it all in one night.
Yeah, don't do it all in one night, but just bring a friend over and just share some whiskeys, share some memories, and just have a good time.
Yeah. And please reach out to us, comment, and cheers, good vibes. Cheers. We'll see you on the next episode, everybody.